Day 180, and the other night, Sunday night, I gave out a pick on the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Green Bay Packers, and I gave my rundown of exactly why I was going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. The AFC was 6-0 against the NFC, Aaron Rodgers in the revenge game. And I felt so confident about the pick, and I don't ever give out picks on here unless, one, I'm going to play it myself, and two, I feel super confident about it. And this pick in particular, I felt like extremely confident. As I said, I was going to go 2 times on it. And so at halftime, they were up 16-7. It looked outstanding. And then the second half, Green Bay came back and they won going away. And then the following night, last night, that little trend that I noticed, that pattern that I noticed came into play again. Kansas City covered and dominated Washington. Last night, they won 28-7. And so, but I didn't even really think about it, and I wanted to make this video yesterday, but I didn't make it for whatever reason yesterday. It was late, and then today, again, it just dawned on me, and I was like, man, I really have to mention this. Because as it was happening, and I showed my wife the video that I made too, giving out that pick at halftime. I showed her this, and I was feeling fantastic about it. And I'm like, this is going exactly like it's supposed to go. And so when everything started to kind of change, and she, normally I don't tell her what I'm doing, so she was in on it. I let you guys in on it, and it totally went the opposite way. And so I started asking myself questions. I'm like, why, out of all the plays, like I've been on fire today, out of all of the plays, why is this the one which I felt extremely fantastic about? I felt super excited to share the pick because I thought it was, it just felt like it was a lock. I even shared it with my brothers. I rarely give them picks. So I'm giving all these people the opportunity and sharing that I'm taking this game. And I won like every other game except for that one. But anyone who's receiving that play from me is 0-1. They didn't see all the other winners. So from their perspective, that's not good information that I gave them. And so I was thinking about that, and I'm like, what just happened here? Like, why did I feel excited to give this play out? And then why did it lose? And in that questioning, in that asking why, I was feeling negative emotion that I didn't even realize that I was feeling. And so as soon as I felt that negative emotion, I was like, oh, this is a spotlight right here. This emotion is a spotlight shining down on a negative belief that I have that is associated to this experience in some way. I have a belief about this that my simulation is showing me. And so I need to redefine this experience, what's happening right now. Otherwise, I'm going to continue living this. And so before I started, when I created the Lion channel, not everybody knows this, maybe some people do, but when I created the Lion channel, initially I was giving out sports picks. And I used to give out these chase systems. I'm not going to go into what chase systems are, but you would chase your money. So if you lose the first game, you would double up on the second game. If you lose the second game, you would try and win your money back from the first and second game. And then you would go into what's called a C-bet. And so C-bets were very, it was a tense situation because you were chasing all of that money. So if you won 18 straight games on the A and B bets and you didn't lose, even mix in a C there, but you lose one C bet, that costs you 18 wins. So I used to put so much pressure on myself when these C bets would come up. And anytime I would lose a C bet or we would lose a C bet, I wouldn't be able to sleep that night. I would have so much anxiety and stress and just these thoughts, this negative thought stream just crushing me, and self-defeating thoughts, anything you can imagine. And I would just create this fear-based reality. And so I realized that's what that was. And so I had to redefine that experience and just talk myself and change the whole definition that I have when I give out these plays. I would always make it bigger, like my whole reputation. I would feel like my whole reputation was on the line. And then I would be like scared to talk to people like afterwards. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, but that's who I was. And so once I gave out this play and it didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, those old feelings, those old thoughts started. It's almost feels like, and you'll experience this if you start falling asleep in the wish fulfilled and you're just present most of the time. That old person that I talk about, when they start to creep in, it's almost like paralysis, like setting in. It's like, you know, if you've ever watched a movie where the monster's coming out and like those dark clouds just start to move in like really fast. And that's what it kind of like feels like. And so, but as I started to feel that, I caught it. And so I was able to change that definition and that belief. And then all of a sudden it was like clear skies again. And so I really wanted to share that. And, you know, because that's exactly how you do it. Like this for me is monumentous. Okay. My life, anyone will tell you, my life has basically been about sports. It's been about betting, you know, for most of my life. Like I could write a book on sports betting. But I've always been my worst enemy when it comes to it, because anytime, as I said, these kinds of experiences would start to happen, it's almost like you have this feeling. It's like, oh, here we go again. But it doesn't have to be here we go again. It never has to be here we go again. Once you catch it, and that's what I'm really starting to realize, and is really starting to hit home for me, is like, it has nothing to do with the games. It has to do with almost like facing your demons when it comes to that, and just being at either a neutral or a positive state. If you can keep yourself in a neutral or positive state as much as possible, the storm just passes over, even when it comes. Whereas before, if you don't stay in that neutral or positive state and you start allowing that storm to take you over, then all of a sudden it's going to be raining for a while. I've experienced it. I know a lot of people who watch these videos have experienced that depression, that anxiety, that stress. But it doesn't have to be. But you have to catch it, and you have to do what we're doing here because it works. Lion's Den. 2 people checked in last night. Kate and Shadow Flare. Both falling asleep in the wish fulfilled. Both staying consistent. Both changing their lives. I'm also going to shout out Brent because he has not missed a day. So this would be the first day. Odds are he'll eventually check in. Yeah. So that's it for today. I hope this video helped in some way. Day 180 in the books. I'll see you tomorrow, day 181. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Have a great night.